24 hours since I went to Tulsa Regionals this Saturday, and it's also been a lot longer since I've uploaded on this channel. I apologize for that, by the way. Just things got in the way. I've been dealing with a lot of stuff, so anyway, I want to go over what I played and what I did in the overall tournament. I did relatively well, all things considered. I did better last event than I did this one, so it's really good to know that I actually did some improvement over the event. So this is the deck that I played. I played PSY-Frames, of course, because I like the deck a lot. But I'm changing it up as of right now. I'm currently working towards something else. But I want to show you what I did, what I changed out, what I could have done better, and what is good in this deck. So my matchups were for round 1 was Infernoids. Let me bring it up real quick. I have it written down on my notepad on my phone. Give me one moment, please. Shouldn't take too long if I can actually press the buttons properly. So the first round I won, or first round I lost. It was to Infernoids. I actually didn't really expect that matchup, to be perfectly honest. I had side deck for it, but I just didn't see it. And apparently they could abuse Omega much better than I can. However, it's still it was an interesting matchup to say the least. It was a very close one too. The second round I drew to Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes is actually a very easy deck, all things considered, if it's not trying to stall you out and going at a time and stuff like that. It's a very easy deck to play against, because they actually generally lose to decks like this because spot removal is everywhere in this deck. So I have no quarrels against that deck. Round 3 was Metaphos and Yang Zing. This was actually my favorite match. This was actually the closest match of the game, and I like these matches where they just last forever and they don't, and they go into time and it's like decided by a few like life points. Like no one played differently. Like I would have lost if he played Lancia, and because he side decked Lancia against me, and he would have won if had he played it, but he didn't. So that's fine. But it was a close game. He would have if he dealt 200 points of damage, we would have won, or it would have been a draw. So it's good to that was a close match. DDDs I won because of he played way too many of his gates. He played way too many of his contracts. He essentially burned himself to death because he's playing against a stall deck. PSY-Frames are notorious for being a stall heavy deck. So PK Fire I drew against. Ironically, I also, all things considered, I didn't have that bad of luck against PK Fire either. PK Fire was one of the deciding factors in the match. It was actually what turned me on, turned the game on. So for me, it's pretty good. It was a pretty fun matchup still. Even though I really don't like PK Fire, I don't like Burning Abyss as a deck. But the guy was pretty chill. The dude was pretty good. He was pretty relaxing. It's chill. And Mermails, I lost to Mermails because that deck will OTK you even if you have beta on the field. It doesn't matter. They will if they can't OTK you that turn, they will OTK you the next turn following it. So I didn't have really much outs for it. I did have some side deck for it, but I don't think it was enough. I didn't draw into it, and it was turn 2. So, but anyway, I'm gonna go over the deck and tell you what I played and why I played it, because there's some interesting things that I wanted to talk about here. So let's just jump right into it. So obviously you're running the 3 standard. You're running the drivers, the deltas, the gammas, the betas, the alphas, the circuits, the overloads, simple PSY-Frame stuff. You know, normal shenanigans. 2 omega, 2 zeta. You can run 3 omega if you want to, but I only have 2. Bottom 1 or 30, but still, it was a pretty good. I think maximizing on your PSY-Frames, except for Epsilon, but you maximize it in the side deck, is the best choice overall. I would, during a match such as, I was actually expecting to lose to Metaphos Yang Zing, since Metaphos Yang Zing is practically invulnerable to spot removal, because they'll just replace themselves, / they'll just pendulum summon everything back regardless. But I ended up winning that matchup, which is kind of strange. But it was like I said, it was a close game. I like fun games like that. Also, During certain matchups, I would have definitely sided out certain things. Like against PK Fire, I should have sided out deltas for epsilons or macrocosmos, or with something else. I didn't have side deck for PK Fire, or else I probably would have won it. If I do end up taking this deck again to an event, I will probably have 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors in here, and I'll probably be setting at that for PK Fire. But so it's we'll see how that goes. Another thing is that Gamma is currently the best PSY-Frame in the deck, hands down. Stopping effects is crucial when you're playing a game, because Zeta stops every effect. It doesn't stop just like on-field effects. It stops graveyard, hand effects. It stops pendulum effects. That is it stops extra deck effects. It stops all that stuff. It stops a lot of things. It's really good. It prevents you from losing the game 9 times out of 10. I'm not saying that you should rely on this card, because there are other cards that will win you the game. Beta is immensely the second best one. Not only does he stop battles, he just kills the monster that attacked him. He doesn't target, and he essentially just makes your opponent pass. So that's pretty good. So things I ran 3 card D. I think consistency is an issue with this deck. I saw the dude who got not 9th. I think it was like. It was like 3rd place. It was 3rd place, I think. And he was playing Pot of Desires over over some cards. He was playing 3 to card D, because consistency is a big issue. I think he was playing it over Duality, which I thought Duality is a bit safer bet, because you're guaranteed to at least play the game afterwards, because you can lose all your resources and stuff like that. So you know how it goes. Maxi, you don't play this card. You play this card. You always play this card. You'll probably forever play this card until it gets bad, which I don't think it will happen. 2 Psychic Field Zone. I would probably exchange this for. I would probably up this to 3. I didn't see this card nearly as much as I wanted to, because every time I looked at my deck, I saw one Psychic. I didn't see Psychic Field Zone at all. So I think 3 is the right amount. It might seem cloggy, but I think when I cut it to 2, it was not very good. So. Raikeki, obvious. 2 Psychic Path. I would actually more after game 1. I typically side deck this out for something else, depending on the matchup. So usually after game 1, this card's pretty much not relevant. It's a good card. It's just I wish there was more effective ways of using it, and there's more benefit to using it. You know. Because, sure, putting 2 of your PSY-Frame monsters back into your hand is fine. It allows you to keep going. But I don't think it's that great. Because I ended up losing with this card when I played it more than I won with this card. So, I'm waiting for Pot of Divinity to come out. It's essentially what I'm saying. Duality. I didn't have Cupidities on me, or else I would be playing them. But this card's the next best thing. I think it's pretty fine. Yeah. I was playing King's Consonance. This card was the MVP of the deck for a lot of the time. When I played it, I usually won the game, and this card got me the draw for Blue Eyes, because I played King's Consonance. Because you don't have to Synchro Summon afterwards with this effect, but you could just negate the attack and the declared attack. What my opponent did, he kind of misplayed. He switched one of his Blue Eyes to defense mode, and he attacked because he assumed that I had a beta in hand or something of that nature. And this card wrecked him. It kind of just gave him a draw, which is fine with me. Jar of Avarice, recouping resources is very valuable in this deck because you are going to be running out of resources really quick, and it's just overall good anyway. Drawing a card for shuffling 5 cards in your deck, that's pretty good. It allows you to recover some of your consistency cards, like your card Ds, your dualities. It allows you to get recoup some of your other cards, like Circuit, some of your PSY-Frames as well. You can recycle drivers with it, because actually I cycled a few drivers in against the deck, so it's pretty good. Also, I learned something really good, really weird. That a lot of people couldn't just handle sacrifice PSY-Frame driver. Like I sacked PSY-Frame driver twice in some games, and I won with it. I won because of it, so it's a good thing. Lose When Turn. Lose When Turn was a fantastic card in the game. I wish I saw it more actually, because against Mermills, I probably would have won that game if I seen it more often. However, it does make Gamma a little bit worse, but that doesn't matter. So it's a good card. And Solemn Warning, because Solemn Warning is a good card. So extra deck, I'm running the Ancient Fairy Dragon. Not only does this allow you to gain your spells, it allows you to sync with someone more often. It allows you to make them much easier. It's a good card. I like this card a lot. I kind of was put off by this card. I didn't play this card for a while because of that fact. So yeah. Black Rose Dragon. Black Rose won the game, and I won because of it. It's good when you do it, and sometimes it's just really fantastic. Zetas are fine. Clear Wing is pretty good. I didn't make it this game, unfortunately, but it's okay. Meteor Burst, I lost to this card, but I think it's a good card still. I wasn't running Michael. I was running Yazi. I don't have Yazi on here, but Yazi I made one game and I sacked it for another card, so it's good. Stardust Spark Dragon, Dot Ruler. I actually made this card in my Metaphos Magic Spectre matchup because I was dumb. I forgot to put Omegas back in my deck, but this card kind of ultimately saved me because that means because he just had Jiatu in his deck and he didn't want and he attacked with Chao Fang, so that. I think it kind of won me the game accidentally. So, Scrap Dragon, I didn't make this at all. I actually thought about it a few times. 2 Omega, 1 Scarlight. I made this one game and it died immediately after. Crystal Wing, I made this one game and it was the MVP of the deck. So, and 1 Overmind, I didn't make this at all. However, which saddens me, but it's there. It's there. So I have run 3 Epsilon. I don't like this card as much as I thought I would. There wasn't enough traps for me to benefit off this card. If I was playing more Burning Abyss and more, if I was playing more Burning Abyss, like strictly just more Burning Abyss, this card would be excellent. But I think I might cut this to 1, just so Circuit can gain a Zeta or an Omega 1500 attack. Final Countdown, I would change this out because it's a lot gimmicky. It's too gimmicky. Microcosmos, I wish I saw this in my Mermail matchup because sending cards to the graveyard is a cost. Since he can't send it to the graveyard, he can't activate the effect. So, Imperial Iron Wall. I had Infernoid side deck, but I didn't see it. Like I said, it's good against other decks as well. It also prevents you from dying. So, anti-spell fragrance for Pendulum decks. Rivalry of the Warlords for Mermails and stuff like that. And Greyhorn for those inherent summons. I might cut this card out actually for Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors. Overall, I think I did better than I did in Arlington, because in Arlington I straight up sometimes when I had Circuit in hand I simply just straight up didn't even activate it, and I was at the end tables quite a few times because of that. However, I still think that I think I did a lot better than I did this time, because I was thinking about all my plays again, and I wasn't as tired as I was at Arlington. Usually when I'm tired, I usually do really well, but for some reason, this one just made me not do, or this lot with my Arlington just didn't make me do very well. So, anyway guys, I'm going to let y'all go. This has been Team NMFOs. Tell me what you guys think of the sec. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later guys.